Hey there, I'm Kathy with the Traveling Homesteader and Gyroscope Farm, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about finances. Since there seems to be a lot of things going on in the world, I think finances are really rather important to think about right now, so we know where to place our money for what. And generally speaking, they say that your rent or your mortgage should be no more than 30% of your income coming in. So if you know where your money is going for your rent or your mortgage, that's kind of, you need shelter. And then you need about 10 to 15% for food. And then you can kind of split things up for beyond that. I know for me, I end up trying to, I don't designate money for clothing, although I probably should. Because I don't know how much money I really want to allot to that. And so there are certain things that, like, I don't necessarily go get my hair done or makeup done, but that may be important to somebody else to allot that money if they want to get their nails done. So allot money for the things that you do want to use. Since I don't get my nails done, I'm not going to put my money to that. But if that's of importance to you, maybe for your job or just keeping up appearances, or it helps you relax. There's a gal that I knew that ended up getting tattoos as a form of relaxation. And while I didn't think of them that way, I thought of them more as a form of expression. I thought, okay, if that's your way to relax, go ahead and do it. So that's something else to help you realize that what's important to you, maybe not to somebody else, and vice versa. But as far as finances go, you may want to try to know where you can get the things that you want at a lesser price. For example, I happen to know that there are certain brands of items that I like to use. One is a brand of bag called Bagalini, which is good for traveling. And they have, in fact, that's what this is. It has lots of different pockets. And I use this for my everyday purse. It has a big pocket in here with lots of storage, multiple storage in there. It has another pocket here, plus these. And then in the back, it has really nice clasps, really user-friendly. I normally wouldn't say I could afford this item for right from the store or brand new, or right from the site. But because I end up going into Goodwill in St. Vincent de Paul's a fair amount, I'll go in there and just poke around and see what's what. And I happen to see this particular bag available. I think I got it even on sale for about $5. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure how much Bagalinis go for in normal pricing, but I think it's more than $5. Along those same lines, another thing you may want to check out, where I live, I happen to live right near Oregon State University and University of Oregon. And most of those universities or schools have a surplus department where if the math department is remodeling, or if they're building a new building on campus, or if they're doing any sort of remodeling, all the old furniture and products will come to the surplus store to be sold or distributed in some way. Likewise, at the end of the school year, when all the students leave, at least through Oregon State University, they've started a program where they will encourage the students to bring their things that they aren't taking with them at the end of the year to the surplus store, and then they then turn around and sell it to other people for really reasonable prices. Prime example, chairs, refrigerators. I happened to go earlier today, and actually I went on Saturday. I got some t-shirts. I got this for $8. And these generally go for, at least $25 a piece. I ended up getting another one of these, just like it. I happened to, for a little while, I was doing trivia with a group of people, and we would win on a regular basis. And as part of our winnings, the host, the given restaurant or bar, would give certain prizes. And I happened to get another one of these that the growler size. I happen to get that one for me as the one prize I got. We couldn't ever really split up all the time for everybody each week, but that was the one thing I took home. And that was really kind of pleasant. I still use it today. And that particular jug, that particular growler, would go for, I believe it was $65 to $75 online and in like on Amazon. And I got it for free because I was out playing and being social. But with Oregon State University and their surplus stores, like I went and got a t-shirt. This particular shirt, brand new, still has the tags on it, right? It's a dry fit, brand new tags. Really nice long sleeve shirt, but the dry fit material. It was taken right from the student store. The tag on it says $50. As nice as this shirt is, I couldn't have paid $50 because it's not within my budget. And I wouldn't have paid $50 because it's not within my budget. But at the OSU surplus store, this was marked down to $8. I said, I can do that. So when you have the opportunity to know what your budget is and know what things are quality enough, like this dry fit material is really nice and really light, and it's really popular. A lot of people use it, especially in a lot of different sports teams. So if you know what you like, you know what you can afford, and you go to appropriate places, some of them might be unusual, like this OSU surplus store, but it works out. Or even Goodwill, St. Vinny's. You can find a lot of neat things. In fact, one time I was in Goodwill and found a Columbia backpack. I think they were selling it. I could have gotten it even half off their ticketed price. I think I could have gotten it for like $20, and it was a high-end Columbia, like full big backpack for traveling. So when you look at things that you need, realize that if you're on a budget, you don't need to be, in essence, poor. You can have great taste. You can have opportunities. You just may have to wait a little bit longer to get it. Know where to look. Something else that you may want to consider kind of checking out is a lot of times people want to be able to like eat out and have high-end meals, which is great, but when you don't know where if you're for some reason you've lost your job, or you again are on a tight budget, maybe you had a lull at work and you didn't have as much work, having the opportunity to take advantage of recipes and cooking at home is really kind of cool. And I ended up having, this is my little cookbook, you might say. And what I do, I actually got this, I think I got it at a yard sale. It was in the free box. And then I ended up getting note cards from the dollar store, just regular old index cards. And I decided I wanted to have recipes that I could take with me that fit on the side on one index card. So, this is my recipe. This is one recipe I found for Southwest protein bowls. Okay, and I ended up having it fit on both sides. That's my other rule. I have a variety of recipes that are, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I have Mexi melts. I have Indian food. I have pad Thai. Thai food. I have in here now all the meals of the day plus snacks from a variety of different cuisines that I know where I can get it and have it on a budget and feel like I'm rich. And that's the thing that I found sometimes when I was teaching. I'd come to the end of the month and I'd be like, oh, I don't have enough money. But I'd make myself some pad Thai, or I'd make myself a curry, or I'd, do all these different things at home to cook for myself. And I say, I couldn't have gotten that for that price had I gone out to a restaurant. Now, I'm not saying don't support local restaurants when you can, but when you have the opportunity to do it yourself on the cheap, go ahead and do it. And so that's the benefit of being able to, learn how to do things on your own. And I now have in this little container, I have a fair amount of time because I wrote out a lot of the recipes that I saw online. And I just would take the time to, write one or two down every so often. But it's literally, $1.50 investment. and it's foods that I like. And so that's where I think this is important. The other thing we can do is, if you have the opportunity to learn how to do something, and it's something that can enhance your life in some way, then that's like bonus points. When I was in college, I actually was heavily involved in photography. That was one of my jobs. And so I had a professor say in college, you can travel all over the world and take everything home with you that you saw on your trip if you just take photographs. And you don't have to go and purchase things there. You don't have to do whatever. And since then, I actually really took that to heart. And so whenever I go traveling, I really make an effort to take more photos than just about anything else. I'll try to take some things home with me that I can take with me, like in my pocket or in my bag. But I really try to do more photos so that I can remember those things. In fact, I have some photos that I took that I was able to get printed as poster size. I found a way through where I worked at one point, being able to get several posters printed for $5 a print. This was like 11 by, like, poster size, like 24-inch by like 48-inch. And then I got frames for them that were on sale at Michael's or, Joann's, that were about 15. So for about $20, I was able to have something that would have cost me hundreds, if not more. And it would have been shipped and broken and blah, blah. The other thing is, you can take, like, I took a bookmaking class and ended up being able to make this book and create a little bit of a picture book for myself, a memory book of when I lived in China. And so this was something else that I can flip through this, and I was able to take the pictures and some of the paperwork from when I was in China and do that for myself. So again, if you cross integrate things that you enjoy doing or want to learn how to do, you can have your money go a lot farther. And in the case of something like bookbinding, people make their own books and can sell them and actually have that as an income too. So if you chime things right, you can kind of make things happen. The last thing I'm going to do is kind of encourage making friends. Making friends is cool because you can do a whole lot of things. You can do swaps. You can do, just favors for each other. You can do a whole host of things. I happen to, there was a friend of mine that wanted to just have some help moving some stuff. And as she was sifting through, she was giving away some things. And this happened to be some lotion. She's like, oh, I forgot I had that. Do you want it? And she was kind enough to give it to me along with some other things that she wasn't going to be using anymore. So that's the kind of cool thing, is that if you work together with people, you can find out different little things that you can get. I found out from someone that she is a part of a group of people who they each grow an amount of food, and they grow an actually like more than what they personally need, and then they trade with their friends. So if somebody, say, grows a lot of peaches and cans a ton of peaches, and somebody else cans or grows, cucumbers for pickles, they may swap with each other. They'll grow enough for the other person, and they'll swap. Somebody may be be a fisherman, and they wanted to get some fresh produce, and so they'll swap with the guy who gardens throughout the year. So these are some ideas. But the other thing I learned a couple of years ago was that there were neighbors that these two ladies were married and had children, and they got talking. They said, one lady said to the other, I really, really am getting tired of my furniture. I just am kind of tired. I've had it now about 2 years, and it's just, I don't know. I really want to get some new furniture, but my husband says I can't because we're on a budget with, our kids need braces, they need clothes, time for school, all this stuff. And so the other lady said, well, I'm really kind of wanting to get something new too. How about we trade? So they actually traded their furniture they each got new furniture. Neither one of them had furniture that was over 2 years old. And so they switched it, and they had new furniture in their own houses, spruced everything up, and they were both happy, and they didn't have to pay a dime. So that's another thing that you may want to kind of find out if you can trade with a friend on something, or you can find things on Facebook, on Craigslist, furniture that's free or whatever. And so when we think of our finances, remember to know your budget, know the brands you like, and try shopping in out of the ordinary places, like the Oregon State University surplus store, or maybe there's another university near you that you can find different things. So when we think of our finances, we need to definitely know our important things: housing, food, clothing. But if we want to go and spruce up our lives and be a little different, you can even, now that it's summer, you can even do some fun things for outside movies, kind of game nights and that sort of thing. So now that we have some kind of hopefully new ideas for you, come back, give me some ideas on what you guys have done by commenting down below. Take the time to subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for showing up and coming back to the Traveling Homesteader and Gyroscope Farm. I look forward to seeing you again.